It is Wednesday, January 6th. We're on lesson 2. We're going to talk about real-world examples of positive, negative, and zero. Please turn around and get ready. You're going to need your highlighters today. In this first part that we're going to talk about, it says to read this example, and then we're going to search out the words that have meaning for us in the real world about numbers. Okay, so I'm going to read a sentence, and I'm going to try and find the math words in there, and then we're going to make a list. So, for Tim's 13th birthday, he received $150 in cash from his mom. Please highlight the word received. He received $150 in cash from his mom. His dad took him to the bank to open a savings account. Highlight the word savings account. Tim gave the cash to the banker to deposit into the account. Highlight the word deposit. The banker credited Tim's new account $150 and gave Tim a receipt. Keep looking, Jason. I gave you a highlighter. Go find it. 1 week later, Tim deposited, we already have deposit, so I'm not going to highlight it the second time. Tim deposited another $25 that he had earned as an allowance. Highlight the word earned and allowance. The next month, Tim's dad gave him permission to withdraw $35 to buy a new video game. Tim's dad explained that the bank would charge a fee. You're going to charge him a $5 fee. Jason, go get a highlighter from Miss Malone and then come right back, because you're going to miss a whole bunch of stuff. Go get one real quick. The bank would charge a $5 fee for each withdrawal. Did I already have a withdrawal? Yep. Yeah. From the account, which I already did that. Each withdrawal and charge, I already had that, results in a debit to his account. So we got a bunch of words there. Now, in your life, when you grow up, you're going to want to have money to buy things that you would like to have. And at some point, your parents are going to say, if you want that, you're going to have to earn some money and buy it yourself, right? Like when you get old enough to drive a car, you might want to save up money to buy a car. Your parents might want you to start saving up to pay for some of your school clothes or video games. Please close all the Chromebooks. Sorry. So we're going to take each of these words and we're going to talk about, because you're going to need to learn how to use a bank. You're going to need to know how to manage money so that you don't get cheated, that people don't try and take your money when they shouldn't, and what's the best way to use money. So that's a little bit about what we're going to start talking about. So the first word we highlighted was receive. If you receive money, does that mean somebody's giving you money or somebody's taking away money? No highlighter? Okay. So Ashlyn, can you let Jason take a look at your page so he can get the right words there copied down? All right. If you receive money, what do you know, Peyton? They're giving money to you. So is that a positive or a negative? If you receive it, that's a positive number. So put a plus sign and circle it. If I receive money, then that means it's a positive for me. Somebody's giving me money. So we got that word taken care of. Now what do you need, bud? They're on the table, right up front. The next word, savings account. So when you go to the bank, there's actually 2 types of bank accounts. You can have a savings account Anybody know what the other one's called besides savings? Omari?
Oh, a deposit.
Not exactly. Quaid?
Isn't it like at company, like one? I forgot.
Okay. Peyton? Not exactly.
Don't
Nope. Caleb? Huh?
Checking.
Checking account. So now that we know these are the two kinds of bank accounts you can get when you go to the bank, they are for two different purposes. So who knows what's the purpose of the checking account? What do you do with your checking account, Olivia?
Um, oh, wait.
You're going to have to be loud. You forgot? Okay, Parker?
Isn't it where you, when you get paid, doesn't all your money go to your checking account?
And what do you use that money for?
Bills.
To pay bills. So your checking account is the one you use every day. When you get paid, they put your paycheck or the money you get from your job goes in your checking account, and then you use that checking account to pay all your bills. What do you think a savings account would be for then, if you're not paying bills? Brooklyn?
Saving the money and like in case, like saving it in case we need it.
Exactly right. So a savings account is money that you put into it, but you don't take it in and out all the time. Checking account, money goes in and out all the time. A savings account is at the end of paying all your bills, say you have $100 left over. You can put that $100 in your savings account every single time and just let it sit there, and you can save it up so that you can do things like go on vacation. Peyton, fix that, please. That would be like a vacation account. It might be to save up for a car. It might be if you talk to your parents about buying a house. Before you can buy a house, you have to have a whole bunch of money saved up first before they'll give you a loan to buy a house. So savings accounts are where you put money that you're not going to just spend every week.
When you buy a house, don't you have to put like a down payment?
It's a down payment. Yep, exactly right. So we got the accounts, now we got deposit. Every 2 weeks, Constantine Public School puts a deposit in my bank account. What does that mean when they deposit money in my bank account? Ethan?
They give you money.
They give me money for working. So is that a positive or a negative number?
Positive.
It's a positive number. A deposit is a positive number. They're giving me money in my account.
Hey, you can sound like positive.
Guys, ready? The next sentence says the banker credited Tim's new account $150. If somebody credits you, you've been credited. You think that's a plus or a minus? Brooklyn?
Minus.
No, a credit is going to be a plus. So if I go to my savings account and I put in $200, they're going to credit my account $200.
Oh. Credit means gift.
Credit cards are a different thing. We're just talking about the word credited. Receipt. Who knows what a receipt is? Dominic. It's proof of.
It's basically all the stuff that you bought like a grocery store.
Yep, you get a receipt at a grocery store.
And it's like telling you how much money you spent. And then on the bottom, it's like the total, and then it shows you what you bought and how much it was.
Right, so it's proof that you bought, that you paid for something, right? What if you go to the bank and deposit $200 and get a receipt? What is that proof of?
Is that proof that you put money into your account?
Yes. So here's my question. Think about this. This is what you guys got to pay attention to when you get bigger. So what if you go to the bank and you have $200 you got for your birthday or Christmas or whatever, and you put it in the bank and they don't give you a receipt? Should you worry? Maybe, because why?
Because if you
accident. If you because you're not proving that you did that.
Exactly right. There's no proof you gave them money. They could say, you didn't bring any money here. Where's your proof? That's what your receipt is for. So a receipt is proof of whether you gave money to the bank, whether or not you paid for an item at Meijer. So what happens? You ever see somebody go out the door at Meijer on the way out and the buzzer goes off?
Yes.
And what do they want to know? They want to see your receipt. Why? Tarker?
Because they're going to look on the receipt and see if everything that is in the back from the receipt.
Exactly, that you paid for everything that's in there. So receipts are important to have, okay? Here's another. So we did that. What about the word earn? What does it mean if you earn something? Taylor.
Like, if you were working for something, you earn it because you did. Like, if you were doing yard work, you were actually doing something, not just getting the money.
Exactly. It's not just somebody giving it to you, but you earned it. That means you did some work for it in return for something. So you could earn money. What happened yesterday when you finished your IXL lesson? What did you earn for that?
Ticket.
A ticket. So when you earn something, you get something in return for doing something. So either mowing the yard, babysitting, finishing your IXL lesson. Is that a positive or a negative? If you earn something, it's a positive. So put a plus sign in a little circle right there. That's a positive. You didn't have to do that.
I know I did.
Okay.
Just
well,
in
thank
case
you.
I needed another time.
Okay,
There
you
go.
gotcha. All right, we took care of earn. What about allowance? Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, I didn't get an allowance. But I know some people do get allowance. What is that? Taylor.
Some money you get every week.
And do you have to do chores to get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So money in return for doing chores. When my kids were little, they got $5 a week, and they had to make their bed in the morning, and they had their own bathroom, so they had to empty out the wastebasket in their bathroom, and they had to take their laundry to the laundry room. And every week they got $5 and they bought a Beanie Baby. So that's an allowance. We know about that. Questions or comments? Parker?
I have a comment.
Yes.
What I do is I wash the dishes 3 times a month and then take out the trash twice. I am at home milk paid, so that's basically my allowance.
Nice. Very nice. Peyton?
I don't get an allowance.
I never did either. So, but you can decide. All right, let's move on, guys. We don't want to run out of time. What about withdraw? It says, the next month, Tim's dad gave him permission to withdraw $35. What does that mean? I'm going to withdraw money. Yes.
It's basically you're taking money out of your account.
Right. Withdraw. We're going to take out money. Is that a positive or a negative?
Positive.
I'm taking money out.
Negative.
It's a negative from the bank, right? Withdraw is a negative. I'm taking money out of the bank. Write it down. Okay. All right. To buy something. When I buy something, am I buying something? Listen. Is somebody giving me money or is somebody taking away money? Am I giving it away? Dominic, I'm going to check that at the end of class. So please start if you haven't done any of it. Let's get back on our track. Taylor.
To buy something or taking it away.
I'm spending money, right?
Yeah.
So when you buy something, that's a negative. If I had $20 and I bought something that cost $10, then I have to subtract $10. What about the next word, charge? The bank will charge you a fee. Are they giving you something or taking something away? Thomas, a charge. They're taking something away, so that's a negative number. They're charging you. What about the word fee? There's a $20 fee if you want to enter a national park. Are they going to give you $20 to come into the park, or are they going to ask you to give them $20? Ethan?
Give you $20. No.
You have to pay $20, right? So is that a positive or negative? Negative. A fee is a negative. And here's the last one, debit. Each withdrawal and charge results in a debit to the account. Dominic, please stop what you're doing and get back on track, buddy. Come on. Put your paper down and start writing on it. I'm going to debit your account. What do you think they mean when they say I'm going to debit your account that much money? Omari?
Taking out money?
Yep, we're going to take away. Is that a positive or a negative? Omari?
Negative.
Yep. Okay, we're going to move on to the next page. Yes?
Why does it say words I already know, words I want to know?
Oh, because we did it differently than they did, that's all. All right. We're going to skip this one right here. We're skipping exercise 1 and 1, not 2. Write each individual description below as an integer. Remember from yesterday, what's an integer? Positive and negative, what kind of numbers? Positive and negative. Look at your number line. What kind of numbers are those? Whole numbers and positive and negative whole numbers and what's the number on there that's not positive or negative? And 0. So in this column, we're going to write a number. It's going to be a positive, a negative, or 0. You open a bank account with $0. What number do I use? 0. I make a $150 deposit. Is that going to be positive 150 or negative 150? Exactly right. Positive 150. What if I say you're going to get a credit to your account for $150? Positive or negative?
Positive.
I'm going to credit your account $150. Make a deposit of $25. Is that plus 25 or minus 25?
Plus.
Good job, Omari. Omari knows her money.
I do too.
The bank makes a charge of $5.
Minus.
Negative 5. Tim withdraws $35.
Negative 35.
You guys are got it. Exactly right.
Now what do
Yes, sir.
Do you have to do the number line?
We're not going to because I don't want to spend that much time. The next page, we're going to talk about thermometers. We said yesterday, as we started talking about horizontal and vertical number lines, and I said you're going to notice a vertical number line when you look at thermometers, right? So over here, write the word vertical, because we're still trying to remember which number line is which.
Horizontal.
Ready? Temperature is commonly measured using one of two scales. Oh, there's that word we talked about. A scale. And the two scales on a thermometer, one is Celsius and one is Fahrenheit. And if you look right here, there's Fahrenheit listed on that side and Celsius listed on this side. The only country in the entire world that has thermometers that look like this, United States. Does anybody know why nobody else has these? Peyton?
We don't fall within
What?
that. We don't fall within that.
They only use metric, which means every other country in the universe only has one thermometer and it's only Celsius. So none of the thermometers anywhere in the world have any of the numbers on that side.
And it's not like
Okay, so in the United States, the Fahrenheit system continues to be the accepted standard for non-scientific use. So if I want to know what your temperature is or how cold it is outside, that's considered non-scientific. But if you go to science class, like in STEM or something like that, and you talk about temperatures, it's all going to be metric. So what we want to look at is what's the difference between the two? Are they the same scale, for example? Are they the same scale? So let's look. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So remember, this side says Celsius, right? Let's find the 100. Look at the scale. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Where's 100 going to be?
It's gonna keep.
It's going to be way up here someplace. It's off the charts. You can't measure 100 degrees Celsius on this thermometer. On the vertical number line, where would that integer be? It would be way up here. For part C, we're going to look at the thermometer and we're going to find temperatures. And we're going to do whichever scale they tell us to do. So the first one says the temperature shown on the thermometer in degrees Fahrenheit. Well, if you look at the thermometer, it goes up to this point, right? So I'm going to draw a line, and you can do the same thing. Draw it really carefully across there. That's how high up the thermometer is. What is the degrees on the Fahrenheit side? Taylor?
100.
100 degrees Fahrenheit. You got to put a big old F on there. Dominic, you're still not writing, friend. The temperature showed in degrees Celsius. So now they say, okay, well, what is it on this side? Well, it's in between 30 and 40. But what scale are they using in between? What are they counting by? Look in there carefully at those little lines. What are we counting by in there, Ethan? We're counting by twos, right? So watch. 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. So right there is 38 Celsius. What's the freezing point of water in Celsius? Right here, freezing point of water in Celsius is what? 0 degrees Celsius. If somebody tells you your body temperature is 98.6 degrees and they don't tell you is it Fahrenheit or Celsius, what do you think? What do you think, Brooklyn?
Fahrenheit.
Why?
Because if you're like sick, normally they take it by your Fahrenheit to see if you're hot.
We only use Fahrenheit, but think about where would 98.6 Celsius be? All the way up here. And remember when you boil water on the stove, right before it starts to boil, what happens?
They get bubbly.
It gets bubbly. Is your blood so hot that it bubbles inside? I don't think so. All right, so this is Fahrenheit. Does 0 degrees mean the same thing on both scales? Well, let's go find 0 on both scales. There's 1 0. There's the other 0. Is that the same temperature? No. One is higher, one's lower for the zeros. They don't match at all. All right, let's take a look on the next page. We're going to do this page, and then we're going to finish for today. Write each word under the appropriate column. It's either going to be a positive or a negative. Let's start with the first one together. What about the word gain? Is that a positive or negative? Taylor?
Positive.
Good job. Gain goes there. What about, and I'm going to cross that off because I did it. What about the word loss? Where does that one belong?
Negative.
Negative. Okay, go ahead and finish the last 8 of those. And we'll go over that together in just a minute. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready, and we're going to go over the answers. All right, thank you, Peyton. You can put your hand down. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Parker. Yes. Thank you, Brooklyn. Thank you, Quaid. Thanks, Olivia. Thanks, Amari. Thanks, Ethan. Okay, 30 seconds, then we're going to go over this. Thank you, Derek. All right, what about the word deposit? Where'd you guys put that one, Brooklyn?
The pot, no. Yeah.
Yes. Deposit goes on that side. If you need to switch these or fix them, just go ahead and do that. Credit, Dominic, where'd you put that one?
Positive.
Exactly. Debit. Peyton. No. Omari, what'd you say?
Negative.
Negative. Debit goes over here. We'll talk a little bit about that later. Charge. Which side does that one go on, Ashlyn? If I'm going to charge you, negative. Exactly. What about below 0? Withdraw.
Negative.
Owe. You owe somebody money. Derek? And what about receive? You're going to receive money.
Positive.
Taylor?
Positive.
All right. Outstanding. If you have to fix any of those, go ahead. We're going to finish this up later. So check this out.